Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Toon review for tonight's look back on the game earlier on today, of course, and any latest news which we will go through during the show. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Paul, and I'm joined by tonight Alex and Billy. We will have a look. But Alex isn't very happy, by the way, guys, because he hasn't been able to watch the game because it's been taken down. But hopefully it will be back up a bit later on for him to watch again. So he hasn't seen the game, which he's extremely angry about.
Paid for it as well. So.
Yes, he's paid for it as well. But if you do enjoy tonight's show, as usual, guys, hit that thumbs up for us. Really, really important that we keep those likes coming in. Thank you to all our new subscribers today. We've surpassed 31,000. We're almost at 31,100 already, which is incredible. So thank you very much and welcome to all our new subs. If you are new and like what you see, please do subscribe. It is free to do so, but hit that bell, which will let you know when we upload or go live. Of course, you can support the channel by becoming a member. Just hit that join button just underneath the three of us. And you can super chat the channel to support us that way as well by the $sign at the bottom of the live chat. And that will also guarantee your comments to be read out live on the show. Good evening, fellas.
Good evening, and good evening to all those out there in Viewerland.
So, Alex, you weren't able to see the game, but have you read about it? Have you sort of heard about it?
I've watched the highlights, and I've watched the clip that somebody compiled all of the Lewis Hall clips together into one. So I've seen highlights and Lewis Hall stuff, which is okay, but highlights are just the best bits. I want to see the whole thing. So I will wait till Newcastle actually release the full game. They've kind of, if they don't, I'm going to be rather frustrated and shall be emailing them again because they released the full game of the Hull. They released the full match of Hull. So I was under the assumption they were just going to do this for all of it for this pass that we've purchased. I bought all 6 games. I want to be able to watch all 6 games. You know, 11:30 in the morning. Most of the nation was at work today. You need to give somebody the opportunity to watch this. It's been paid for. Put it back on the website, please.
Yeah, it is a little bit sad that it's not still on the website. I think it will be a bit later. I don't know whether they take it down and put it back up later. I don't see the point of doing that because, as you say, people are at work, can't watch the game when it happens and want to watch it when they come home, even whether they know the score or not. They still want to watch the performance. Now, there was some good performances today. We started very strongly. First 15 minutes especially, of course, Isak giving us the lead within the first 3 minutes. Great ball through from Willock, and he got a bit fortunate. The defender tried to dribble past him, and he won the ball back and buried it. It was a great finish in the end. But then after 15 minutes, it kind of went a little bit south in Newcastle. Some very lackadaisical passing, of course, and giving the ball away. However, we have to say we're very early in pre-season, and of course the Japanese side are midway through their season, so fitness, etc., was always going to come into it. There was always going to be a bit of a bit of mistakes here and there, but we then took the lead just before half-time. A very good finish from Jacob Murphy after a very, very good run from Joe Willock after winning the ball back off the defender. And second half, we pretty much controlled it. It was a very good second half. And the youngsters that came on, I have to say, did very, very well as well. But Murphy with another 2 goals, fantastic finishes as well. Lewis Hall's was deflected, but it was on target. And of course, Isak with the finish. But Nick Pope also saved a penalty in the first half, down to his right. Very good save. And I thought, Billy, Nick Pope was very, very good again today.
Yes, very sharp, wasn't he? The penalty save was outstanding. He went the right way. It was hit with a lot of power because he actually parried it the other way from what he dived from.
Yeah.
But apart from that, his sweeper keeping was outstanding. Looks a really good keeper. Looks a very confident keeper as well. Yeah. So he had a good performance, Nick Pope. Glad to see him back, really am.
Yeah, one plus point, Alex, about Nick Pope, by the way, was he did fall on that injured shoulder a lot today and didn't even flinch at all, which was a very, very positive thing. He was diving to his left. He was coming out, out of his box, sweeper keeping. He was collecting crosses, punching crosses, and didn't seem in any. In fact, he probably looked, Billy, sharper than normal after his operation, because the doctors come out and said there's no way that can happen again. It's obviously given him confidence now that he's landed on that shoulder numerous times, especially today. So that's a good sign, Alex, moving forward for Pope.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really see much of him in the highlights. There was the penalty stop. There was a little bit, but yeah, he played towards the latter stages, the last couple of games of the season, and obviously involved in everything in pre-season. He's had a lot of rest, a lot of careful build-up, ready to push in to the of the next season, and hopefully he should be fine. We've brought in some good backups. We could do with seeing more of Oddie. Did Nick Pope play the full 90 minutes?
No, Oddie came on for, I believe, the last 20, was it, Billy? Around about 20 minutes. But he didn't have anything to do after Pope went off, to be honest. But he gathered the ball a couple of times from a couple of crosses. But Nick Pope did make some saves during the game, which were very good saves. And I think he's looking very confident, which can only bode well for us. But having said that, Vlachodimos came on for the 20 minutes and he looked composed. He didn't look out of sorts or anything like that. He did what he had to do when he had the ball, but he didn't really have a big save to make, because by then the Red Diamonds had also made a lot of changes, so the game had sort of petered out in that way. But it was very physical first half, Billy, wasn't it? And
second, to be honest, they did leave a foot in the Japanese side. They were keen on niggly little fouls that actually the referee did really well with. I thought the referee had a really good game. Yeah,
he did. But the one on Willock for me was the one that annoyed me. The ball was practically out of play and he swiped Willock's legs away. He landed very heavily on his right hip. Of course, didn't come out for the second half, but whether that was a ploy all along, just to give other people games, it's a friendly. So we haven't heard anything about that either. So I'm pretty hopeful that he's not badly injured. It was just a sort of impact injury, really.
He was knackered at the end of the first half. He really was.
He was. I mean, he ran his ass off first half.
He did.
But one thing about Willock, Alex, was he looked back to his old self, where he was running at the defenders. He was playing balls through for Isak. We know that they've got a very good understanding, Willock and Isak, and hopefully we'll see a bit more of that when the season starts.
Yeah, I think it was the right call to just say, let's just forget last year. They basically just went, yeah, we're just gonna bin this off now. We're gonna wait until the following season, which is obviously this season coming, and we're gonna let him fully get back to fitness. And he looks like he looked a bit more of his old self in the highlights. Anyway, this is all I've seen. But there were a few driving runs, and he manages to open up a little bit into that sprint we got used to. Put the afterburners on a little bit, quite aggressive, cheeky little pass as well for that first goal. I think very underrated how good that first pass was with the outside of the right foot. First time, very, very quick to read that situation. I think am I right in saying he got 2 assists? I think he got another one.
He assisted Murphy's first goal at the end of the second half.
As well.
He actually had a chance to have 3 assists, because he a few minutes after, about 10 minutes afterwards, the first goal, he had a chance to play Isak in again, but didn't. He held onto the ball. Isak this time would have been clean through. But for some reason, Willock didn't give him the ball, and Isak let him know about it as well.
We could do with that, because I did see the highlights to our conceded goal, which was Sean Longstaff's fault.
Honestly.
So I mean, Willock was visibly helping Livramento contain the winger in a 2v1, and Sean Longstaff had a guy next to him that he was aware of, but then decided to look the opposite direction. So scanned the wrong way, for starters. The man made a run. Sean then looked and went, anybody going to get him? And then realised, oh, crap, that's meant to be my man.
Yeah.
Followed him and was far too late to get there. I get it's pre-season. Fine, whatever. However, it's look, Sean can't do the driving runs that Willock does. He can't do the physical work that Joe Linton does. He can't do the passing that Tonali does. And he can't do out half as much as what Bruno does. So what we need Sean for is consistency and to stay focused. Now, when he loses that out of his game, it's not very much we need him for. That's the bare minimum is Sean, stay in shape, watch your man, don't make a balls up of general situations.
I'll go as far as to say, though, that given one performance today, what he's done, but we all thought Lewis Modder would be ahead of Longstaff this season, maybe in quality terms.
After
what I've seen in a game and a half, I think James is ahead of him as well.
Yeah.
Look, did he only play 45?
He was outstanding.
Jamie played second half. He was absolutely brilliant.
Well, I mean, Jamie was good against Hull. I mean, I saw he was involved in.
He got the assist for Murphy's second goal. It was a beautiful, it was one of them balls, Alex, which he cut in. He was round about middle of the park, wasn't he? 3/4 of the way through the Red Diamonds half, and he played a ball into the box to Murphy. But it was one of them passes, Alex, that Murphy could just take one touch on his left, the right way, the defender, and curl the ball into the corner.
This is what me and Billy tried to tell you against Hull: is that it didn't look like he was out of place.
Yeah.
You watch the 11 players, and you didn't just go, "Oh, there's the youngster." It wasn't noticeably like super obvious. Like it was, you could still tell, but he fit in fine. Whereas obviously against Hull in the latter stages, when we brought more kids on, it was really obvious who the kids were. Whereas Jamie Miley seems to be, maybe it's because they were more experienced.
Well, he was helping Livramento out at right back. He was all over the pitch again.
When him and Lewis come back, we've got both of them to be rotation midfield options, which would be fantastic. So all of a sudden, the loss of Elliot Anderson seems less of an issue. The fact that we've got Jamie Miley stepping up.
Got a super chat in from Insanity. Thank you very much. Hey guys, love the channel and really appreciate all of the hard work each of you put in into all of this. You guys give me so much needed laughs when I need them the most. Please keep it up and thanks. You're very welcome. Thank you for that message. PAB saying lots of reports in Gordon talks to Liverpool are advancing. Any truth, guys? Apparently, we might be seeing Gomez in the deal. Well, when we were live this morning, that broke about Gomez, didn't it? And obviously, we said, Billy, that people will be putting 2 and 2 together regarding the move for Anthony Gordon. It seems to be advancing. I have to say, there seems to be more and more coming out now that Liverpool are going to be making a serious move for.
It's getting concerning now, isn't it?
It is, yeah. That's the word I'd use. It's a good word to use. It is concerning because if we lost Anthony Gordon, obviously we've got Harvey Barnes there, but I don't think Harvey Barnes is a patch on what we get from Anthony Gordon, which would then mean that maybe we'd have to go and get a right and a left-sided player. Look, Billy said this morning, Gomez coming in would be a great sign, and he's a very, very good player, is Joe Gomez, and he's a utility guy as well. He can play across the back four, so he would be handy to have. But losing Gordon, I just don't want that to happen. I really don't. I think it'd be an absolute travesty if we lose Anthony Gordon.
We can't lose him. We absolutely can't. I mean, we paid 40. He's worth, his transfer market value is 60 million. But for somebody who played in the under-21s Euros, was the striker and who won the Cup for England, he's just had double figures goals and assists this year for Newcastle and played in the Champions League and been fantastic. And then gone to the Euros, obviously didn't really play, but was still picked. His market value as an Englishman who's young. I mean, how old is he now? He's 23. He's 23 right now. So the valuation's got to be at least double, at minimum double what we paid for him, which is 80. And then when you throw on English potential, Premier League proven.
Well, some of the Liverpool fan channels earlier on today were saying Gomez plus 30 million.
I did see that. Yeah, I think they're massively underrating what Anthony Gordon can do. It's disgraceful. Do they not realise how good we were offensively last year? We were outside of like the title challenges by goals scored, and that was it. We blew the league away in goals scored last year. It was our defensive output that was the problem. Goals scored, we were top 3, top 4.
Niall says, PAB, it's all fake news. Gordon ain't going. Niall,
the fact that it's gone quite quiet in certain areas concerns me. Yeah. Some of the Liverpool fans are noisy, and a lot of the Newcastle stuff is quiet. That has me bothered.
Well, what's coming out?
The Newcastle fans and the Twitter pages are all gossiping, but it's gone quite dead. That's what really concerns me. Because
what's coming out of Liverpool is that he's apparently their number one target. So I guess we just have to wait and see on it. But I would be very, very disappointed if we sold Anthony Gordon, especially this late on in the transfer window, Billy. It would seem very strange, which would lead us to have to go and get 2 wingers on either side. And let's not forget, we said this morning that the transfer window obviously doesn't finish till the end of the month, but the season itself starts in 2 weeks.
Yeah, but if he wants to go, you don't keep a an unhappy player.
Yeah,
You know, I don't want him to go. Of course, I don't. I certainly don't want him in that kind of deal where we pay 70, they pay 75, and we pay 45 for Gomez. I'd pay 35 for Gomez, maybe 30, but certainly, and I'd want at least 80 for Gordon. So,
yeah,
the money doesn't add up for me. But if the money did add up, I'd still be pissed off with it, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Jens, thank you for your super chat. He says Liverpool can go F themselves and leave Gordon alone. It's very
his head might have been turned. I really think his head might have been turned with all his press talk, maybe with a bit of cajoling from Liverpool teammates in the England squad. You know, you can see it happening, which is really, really.
Well, you can. I mean, you can see it happening. I'd be gutted if he goes because I think he could have a wonderful season with us next year. But you know what? Liverpool are in Europe. We're not. Anthony Gordon has got ambitions. It's just a shame because you know, after all he said in the Gary Neville interview, I wouldn't have expected him to have his head turned or anything. I think he sounded committed. Look, we may well be jumping the gun here. Let's just see what happens.
Well, I mean, can I give you an interesting comparison?
Yeah.
Felipe Coutinho, who went to Barcelona from Liverpool as a 24-year-old for 140 million, scored 21 goals in that main season. Yeah. And then he actually got a second season that I don't think he completed, where he got 7 goals, 6 assists. So 21 goal contributions and 13 goal contributions as a 24/25-year-old. Anthony Gordon is a 23-year-old who got 21 goal contributions, is English, homegrown as well, so he fits quotas. Sorry, but if we're playing silly numbers, if we're playing number wang with 140 million, some of this is disrespectful. Like Gomez plus 40, Gomez plus, it's just ridiculous. I'm sorry.
However, Anthony Gordon's contract isn't the longest in the world, is it?
No, I think it's next season, isn't it? Next summer.
Don't care. Other clubs do this to us. If Grealish is 100 mil, if Coutinho goes for 140 all those years ago, I don't think Anthony Gordon is any worse than Grealish was when he got his move to City.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Probably, in fact, I think he's better. A lot better.
So the market dictates, go fish.
I mean, there is reports as well. We are trying to offer him a new contract, and I can understand that if there's rumblings of him going to Liverpool, and we will obviously be trying to work out a new deal with him. So it's an interesting story because it seemed to have gone away. It's very much hitting the headlines in Merseyside, and as you say, Alex, it's quiet up here. So I guess it's just wait and see. I mean, we could get up one morning and see a deal has been agreed, or Newcastle told Liverpool to go and stuff themselves. So I hope it's the latter. We've had a super chat in from super sticker in from Paul Stevenson. Thank you very much, Paul. Much appreciated. Northumberland Rockhopper says reports coming out saying we had agreed a £75 million fee just before the PSR deadline. I think that's more to do with the southern media. I've never seen any of the northern media come up with that report. But then again, who knows? Who knows?
I mean, it's offering him a new contract, but if he doesn't want to sign it, maybe that speaks volumes. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, take the Anthony Gordon bit out of it. Joe Gomez would be a great signing for us. He really would.
It's just, I just don't want to see Gordon leave. He's become a massive fan favourite. West Ham also close to signing Leeds United player Somerville, who we were also linked to not long ago. West Ham are doing some business by the looks of things.
They are.
So
Full Krug as well.
Full Krug as well. Yeah, it's they're definitely making moves.
I mean, the fact we are linked with lots of left wingers does concern me, I must say.
Well, it is. I mean, that's another thing that we are linked with left wingers. Why? That, you know, it's a question.
One thing to really bear in mind is, this is going to sound really harsh. I'm going to play devil's advocate. I really like our recruitment. I know a lot of people keep getting really scared, saying, "Oh, Lloyd Kelly, Dominic Calvert-Lewin," but on the whole, our recruitment has been pretty fantastic when you take into consideration Trippier, Livramento, Hall, Botman, Bruno, Isak, Gordon, Barnes. It looks like he's good. He just got unlucky with his injury. The recruitment on the whole has been pretty spot on, to be fair. And now we've got Mitchell in on top of that. If we have to lose Gordon for a fair price, we've then got some big change to reinvest in the front line. big change. And we would presumably get a left and a right-sided player.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I wouldn't be. It would be fine. I'm sure we would replace them well. I have faith in the recruitment department and everything they've got going. That we would bring in some fantastic players. I don't want that to happen, but if it happens, we'll fix it.
I mean, look, if it comes to the crunch, if Gordon goes there, then we go and get Luis Diaz. You know, I wouldn't mind that as a replacement. Why?
I'd rather we went elsewhere.
Okay, fair enough. Dan says if we lose Gordon, maintain Anderson, and only bring in 2 backup goalies and an unfit defender, then the season suddenly becomes a potential collapse. But we jump in the gun here, guys. I mean, it's not. There's nothing concrete stating that Anthony Gordon's going anywhere, but there is a little bit of smoke at the moment.
As long as our midfielders stop rolling dice, we'll be all right.
Yeah. One guy that did play on the left today for the second half was Miggy Almiron.
He was not in the highlights at all.
He was.
He wasn't in the actual game either.
I think I counted 3 times he touched the ball. He was dreadful.
He was awful.
And I know people are going to come at me saying, "Oh, yeah, you just don't like Miggy Almiron, etc." He was god awful. And listen, Sanusi came on, and sort of Miggy sort of could further inside when Sanusi came on, and Sanusi outdone him. You know, he was more in the game than Miggy Almiron was. And yes, it was his first game back, etc. But let's not forget, he was dreadful back end of last season. He was absolutely garbage in the Copa America. And that's come from Paraguay fans as well. Let's not forget that. Yeah, he was garbage, and he was dreadful today. And I don't understand where Eddie Howe is. I know he's not going to come out and slate Miggy Almiron. There's no way he would do that. But I can't believe that he's kind of embarrassing himself saying that he's pivotal, because he's not pivotal.
No, he's not embarrassing himself. At all. He's defending every player at the club, which is
maybe he is, but we're not stupid as fans, are we? We can see that Miggy Almiron is not not what we need. He is just not what we need next season. He's terrible.
Yeah, but Eddie Howe can't say that.
Well, he can't. I know that, Alex. But to say that he's he's sort of pivotal part of the team, but and he's in his plans and all of this,
he can't. If he's too vague, it's really obvious. We lose value on the player.
I would just say he's part of the squad and leave it at that.
No, because then that's not good enough, and then people know there's unrest. The market value goes down. Even harder to shift.
Well, I understand.
Whereas if we say he's a Premier League proven player, scored in the Champions League, he's pivotal, he's good, he's got, you know, he plays for his international setup. If we're really positive about him, especially from the manager, that's positive for generating a bit of interest. You can't come out and go, well, for now, he wears a black and white shirt.
Yeah, but can't do that. But it genuinely looks this way that Miggy is going to be our player next season, and possibly still the start right-hand side.
What gives you that indication?
Because of what Eddie Howe said, the fact that there's no links to him leaving anymore. No, but it's all gone
dead.
There
are, and he has to say that.
I know he's got to say
he has to say that. So you can't then make assumptions based on what he said, because he has to say that. That doesn't mean anything.
I mean, he was hugging him as he came out of the tunnel.
That made me throw up in a bucket. That did.
It depends on the incomings. If we get wingers in, if we get players in, somebody's going to go, and he's quite high on the list to go.
You know, all the players coming out of the second half, and then Miggy comes out and he gives him a massive hug like he's some sort of teddy bear. It made me want to be sick in my mouth.
What he should do is praise him, but do it in a really sarcastic voice. Yeah. Oh, it's my first name on the team sheet.
Yeah. But people are worried that is going to be the case. Laura's just put the comment in there. It gets to your soul that he could still be our right-hand-sided player come the start of the season.
Murphy's the guy, not Miggy.
Well, I bloody hope so, because if I'm at that ground against Southampton, Alex, and Miggy's ahead of Murphy for starting lineup, I'm going to vent my anger.
There's no way.
Well,
I'd rather play Murphy with a broken shoulder.
Yes, absolutely. Peter Garthwaite, thank you for your super chat. I am worried we are being left behind. Do you think the club know Eddie is going to England, and that is why we have not made any significant signings?
No.
Well, no, because Paul Mitchell's the one that's making the decisions anyway, isn't he? So
it seems that way. I don't think Eddie's going to England. I think he said it's was it in a really recent interview again, just making sure that people are realizing that he's going nowhere. Saracenus says it's all the same, 2 fan channels spouting it. Do you really think he'll take his family and new baby back to the town he was run out of by thugs to play for their rivals? He'd be bonkers.
Well, listen, you've got to take a little bit of context here. When he was run out of Liverpool, he was hated by both Everton and Liverpool supporters. If he re-signs for Liverpool,
he'd be a hero.
Half the city on his side again. So,
yeah,
this is how it was before for him.
Yeah. So I understand that. I don't know which 2 channels are pushing it, but
Daily Mail definitely pushed it. It was on the Daily Mail, which
he said 2 fan channels. So I don't know who they are. If the supposed £75 million was agreed, it would have been a desperate sale and kept the other 2 to satisfy FFP in one sale. Miggy needs to be gone. Sorry, Miggy fan, says Julie. Tony says we are trying to sell him, Paul. Shush. Yes, I know. Look, I've had my say. I'll let it go now. Kenzie says Miggy is pitiful, not pivotal. I mean, look, you know what? I expected these guys are professionals. Miggy's an international footballer. I expected him to touch the ball more than the 3 or 4 times that he did. And
out of the 3 times, 2 of those were jumping on the ball in the penalty area when he ruined the momentum of the move.
The kids played a beautiful move towards the end of the game. I think Harrison, who else? Sanusi, but it was on the near side, wasn't it? What's his name? Turner Cook, yeah. Fired a beautiful ball in to Sanusi. Sanusi pulled it back to Harrison. Harrison then gave it to Miggy. It was a really good. Miggy turned around, bounced his foot on the ball about 3 times, and then went back towards his own goal. It was shameful, absolutely shameful. And as I said, the kids looked way better than he did. Andy says he got subbed in all his appearances for Paraguay. I don't think we should be playing him because if he gets injured, we're knackered. I would be extremely disappointed if we lose Gordon, says Radomir. He was our best player last season, and he is one of my favourites. Fits so well in our system. Yes. Miggy will stay because someone decided a purple patch warranted a new 3-year deal, says Claire. Spot on. Can't argue with that. He had a purple patch, and they thought, ooh, this is the real Miggy we're seeing here. Let's give him a wonderful contract.
Yeah, but at the time, let's be fair, we think we all did. No one saw him drop off a cliff.
I'm sorry. Again. I didn't. Come on. He's not for me.
The season before last, he was bloody brilliant. Just as soon as last season started and people understood what he was doing.
But when are we going to learn at Newcastle that to give ridiculous contracts just because of purple patches? It's madness. It's madness at times. It is. Kenzie says Miggy is world class and offers goals and assists. Nudge wink. Yes, if you are watching as fans or owners of other teams, he is world class. I'd cry if we lost Miggy Almiron. He's so good.
Well, I think we'd all be crying.
Yeah.
To be fair, a few people mentioning Fraser.
Oh God.
I do agree that people are a bit over the top with Miggy. Like the amount of abuse that Miggy's gotten, and I don't think Fraser really got any. And I was so critical of Fraser.
Yeah, but Fraser's never been. But he's hardly been on the pitch to get that criticism since he.
He was playing a lot, and he was useless in terms of energy. He could never last a game at all, and I was hypercritical of that. And everybody was like, "Oh, but he's run his socks off. He's tried really hard," and that was fine. Fraser never got stick ever, and it was frustrating. But then Miggy actually does the stamina stuff for 90 minutes and got called the headless chicken and actually scored more goals than Fraser's ever done for us. So I get it. We are ready to move on from Miggy Almiron completely. I agree. However, does he deserve more than what Fraser got?
Let's not even he deserves to go. Anyway, the Clone Lads put a comment in that has shook me to my inner core. Maybe Eddie was trying Miggy on the left as Gordon's replacement. Holy shit, is what I'll say to that. I mean,
well, if he did, he's going to quickly just scrap that and wipe it off the slate because he was dreadful.
Yeah, but the problem is, if we can see that, then surely other teams that are potentially, interested in Miggy will also see that, and we got no chance of selling him.
What we need is some real young, hungry manager that has seen Miggy at his best, or either on film or black and white film or whatever, and then think I can do something with this lad and want to work with him as a challenge. That's what we need.
A fucking challenge. I mean, that'd be a challenge, all right. Jesus. We've got over 1,100 watching, guys, across both platforms on, of course, Twitter and YouTube. Please do subscribe if you are new to the channel and you're enjoying what you're seeing. Latest from the same sources is that we offered Isak to Liverpool with Gomez going the other way. Yeah, I read that before we came on air. I just laughed at it, to be honest. Absolutely.
Well, after today's performance, Alexander Isak looked sharp as attack. There's no way in God's earth he's weird. We sell him. No way.
He is going nowhere. Hi, TTR family. It's a YouTube channel called Liverpool Agenda that is reporting this crap. They're linked with 15 players every day, according to him. Oh, is that the bald guy? It is, isn't it?
He's a knobhead, he is.
Anfield, is it Anfield Agenda it's called?
Yeah,
I think it is Anfield. Yeah.
He's terrible.
Absolutely. Nearly said something I shouldn't have done then.
Yes, let's not, Billy. I understand where you're coming from. I don't think he's very well liked across.
Craig, I think his name's Craig, isn't it?
Yeah, he likes a bit of chicken and a can of Coke.
Well, he don't, does he? He just speaks nothing like that. He's more. He's Irish, isn't he?
Is he Irish? Oh, yes, he is. Top of the morning to you. Simon says, I think Miggy's new deal was the same year. We had quite a few out of contract, and we couldn't let too many go on a free transfer at once.
Well, we didn't let many go on a free transfer. We just gave them all.
Yeah, we gave them all contracts. Yeah, why not? Let's just hand them out willy-nilly. Andy says Joe Linton was hated by all at one point, and now he's loved. Yet Miggy not given the same chance. Come on, Andy.
I mean,
Joe Linton's Miggy was loved, but Miggy is in a different age scale to Joe Linton as well. Let's not forget. Joe Linton
he was given the same chance at the same time. They both got that chance, and further down the line, Joe Linton is currently more pivotal than Miggy is. Miggy doesn't make the team sheet now.
How long's Miggy been here, Andy? I mean, he's been here a long, long time. Let's not forget that. Joe Linton had a dodgy first couple of years because he wasn't managed properly for a start. Eddie saw potential in midfield, took the chance to move him back there, and then the rest is history. However, with Miggy, he's been here years now, and he's consistently shit. He's had a good purple patch, but then he's consistently crap. I wouldn't
say that's fair.
Well, I would, but
we were very good in the first 10 weeks of the season, and he was quite pivotal to that. Scored against PSG, and
he hasn't got the talent to keep it going. And I'll still never forgive him for that stupid thing he did against AC Milan when he should have just tapped the ball in with his right foot and he let it come across to try and hit it with his left. That was unforgivable.
That was frustrating.
Indeed. But anyway, we're talking about the possibility of players coming in here. And, I mean, look, we put that poll up last night about whether, or was it yesterday? No, it was yesterday morning, wasn't it? On yesterday morning's show. We put a poll up saying that, were people worried about the transfer window? And 49% of the votes said yes, they were. So there is a lot of viewers who are actually, worried. Andy says Longstaff offers nothing, yet doesn't get what Miggy does. Oh, it does from us. I mean, I
literally just called him out for being the reason we conceded a goal. He isn't the strongest of our midfielders, put it that way. I think we need to keep him because we need rotation, people who understand the system. But for now, that's the only thing keeping him in the squad, really.
Yeah. Susan says, a loyal player to Newcastle, such as Miggy, does not deserve to be a victim of vitriol. He isn't playing well, but nastiness of fans will not help anything. Well, look, there's been nasty, fair enough, but I'm just saying he's not good enough. And I'm talking on football terms. I'm not getting personal. I don't know Miggy Almiron anyway to be personal about him. Footballing wise, I don't think he's good enough, and that's just my opinion. But I'm certainly not going to be anything personal. Indeed, we can, Alex. Yes,
because I see he was really good today. I don't know how it came across the full 90, because obviously from highlights you can't see position, awareness, runs, but on the ball stuff looked absolutely fantastic. Once again, like the switches, long balls, technical ability just looked insanely crisp.
Oh, we're going to come back to Johnny's comment there because that's an interesting one. Harvey Barnes being groomed to become Callum Wilson's replacement. He did go up front when we moved to 4-4-2 today, didn't he? So interesting. But yes, Lewis Hall. And what I really love about Lewis Hall, and he did it today as well, is his confidence on the ball under pressure.
Yeah.
When he's in that left back position and he's been pressured by the opposition. There was once, I think it was second half. No, it was first half, where he played a lovely little. He was under pressure from the guy, and then he just played a little sort of cheeky back heel to get out of trouble and then send us on the attack. It was brilliant.
He gave it to Dan Burney, then thought it was Franz Beckenbauer.
Well, yeah, we'll forget about that, but never mind. But yes, this guy. I mean, look, he's going to be our starting left back. I've got no doubt about that. But he seems to have, that confidence that we saw at Chelsea. When we were raving about him, when we saw him in a Chelsea shirt, that seems to be there with Lewis Hall now, and that can only benefit. I think he's going to have an amazing season. And Billy, you predicted he'd be in the England squad by the end of the season as well.
Yeah,
I don't think you're far away with that.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think he's got a little bit to learn defensively, but in the main, he was outstanding defensively. Partly culpable for the goal. He wasn't aware of what was going on, but I mean, he wasn't aware that Sean Longstaff was going to stand around like an arsehole, basically. But yeah, in the main, with the ball at his feet, was bloody brilliant, and he makes fantastic runs. He passes the ball really, really good. He's got really good touches and skills with his left foot. It's just a real dream to watch. It's going to be an outstanding player, and I think he will. I think it'll be England's first choice left back before the end of the season.
Yeah.
Can I just mention that scooped through ball that's in the highlights?
Oh, what he flicked over for Willock. Yeah.
That's filthy.
Yeah.
And Emil Kraft was doing it against Dave as well. So he was doing that switch ball, and one occasion he made a fantastic pass. I think it was the Sanusi who had to really leap to keep it in, but it was a brilliant bit of vision. Really good play.
I mean, we need that because Lascelles is out for a very, very long time. Fabian Schär, again, he plays every game, every season. We can't rely on that constantly. We need somebody who's good enough to come in and not, destroy our season. So Kraft needs to step up. We need somebody who's good enough.
Yeah. I mean, on the other hand, on the other side, Livramento did okay. He looked shaky at times, though, didn't he, Billy? He's getting caught out of position. And of course, the penalty, I still think it was a free kick. But anyway, it was a penalty given at the end of the day. I don't know what he was doing in that position to start with.
No, it must have been a counter-attack. It must have been where he found himself on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Mistimed his tackle, although I thought it was outside the box. I thought so at the time, and I still think so now. But he gave a penalty for it. And the Swedish fella that plays at the back and the back of the midfield for
Gustafsson,
Gustafsson was picking him out and lofting some beautiful passes over the top of him.
Yeah, but I told you his progressive passes were pretty filthy.
Yeah, you did. He was brilliant, actually. Yeah,
and for 15 minutes of the first half, he just basically ran the show.
Yeah,
without hardly breaking sweat, to be honest.
Yeah,
the manager brought him to that club for a reason.
Yeah. Well, did you know though, Alex, that Mr. Miyagi's long lost twin brother plays? Well, we didn't know if it was one of the veteran players coming back for a little bit of a 5-minute spell in the game or something, because the cameras kept panning on him in the second half, and it looked like he was coming on. Then he didn't, and he didn't, and he didn't. I think he got on with a couple of minutes left. It was bizarre, that was. But I think Emil Kraft as well deserves a mention, because I thought, you know what, there was that spell in the first half where I thought, both defenses looked really rocky, and we were going at them and they were coming at us, and you could see goals, definitely. We looked a bit out of sorts, but when I look back and I sort of look at Emil Kraft and Dan Burn's performances, they didn't do anything wrong, apart from once when Dan Burn thought he was Beckenbauer, but we'll forget that one. But I thought they looked pretty tight. Certainly crosses coming into the box, got the ball away. Emil Kraft was probably better than Dan Burn on the day, but they didn't really do anything wrong.
Well, it's our second choice centre-half pairing.
Yes.
And they look okay. For a second choice centre-half pairing, they look absolutely fine. I'm not worried about that at all. Obviously, it would be nice to get Botman and Schär back consistently. Obviously, we've got to wait for Botman until maybe sort of October plus time. But yeah, for a backup, I mean, in the Premier League, who's better as a backup centre-half pair? Not many. There'll be a few, but definitely one of the better backup pairs out.
Well,
there.
I think Botman's ahead of schedule, isn't he? I mean, we've seen him put
significantly, yeah,
a lot of training pictures up where he's really, really going for it. Running and things like that.
I still wouldn't put much hope. Sort of maybe
no, he'd be a while,
October, maybe minimum, because that kind of injury, even though you're running and doing ball work and stuff, it's still, as soon as you start getting really aggressive with it, you've got to let it heal. It just needs time. It's one of those.
It was said that it was going to be around Christmas, possibly New Year, before we'd see Botman. So I think we'll see him before. But you're right. We've got the thing that we need to learn from last season is don't take stupid risks. Simple as that. We can't afford to take stupid risks with injuries again. But I think now that Bunce is in, I don't think that's going to happen. Ruffiard Benissian says, Alice, our favourite Man United fan, waxing lyrical about Hall, Willock and Murphy after today's game. Thinks she has a soft spot for NUFC and Lewis Hall. She's definitely got a soft spot for Newcastle. There's no doubt about that. But one thing about Alice's, and Alex, to be honest, they both talk a lot of sense. Most of the time with Alex. But yeah, I mean, she looks at the game and she's very honest about what she sees. She doesn't see it from a Manchester United fan's point of view. She sees it as a football fan. And she speaks very highly of certain Newcastle players, which is the right thing to do. It's the right way to go about it. She's a Man United fan and she'll support a team. But, we like to do that when we're commentating on games. If we see standout performances from certain players of the opposition, we'll say it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
It's a low bar though for Man United fans, isn't it?
Alex,
he's right though.
If one speaks even moderate sense, it's like the second coming.
You know what? I try and be diplomatic, and normally I get wrong for not being. But there you go. And Alex sticks the boot in.
They've got decent recruitment this window. I am a little bit scared of their recruitment, but I have full faith that they will destroy the players as they do with all recruitment. So
Indeed. Ab says people are reading way too much in friendly matches. Let's give it a few Premier League games, and then we can call Miggy and Longstaff shit. Abs, come on.
To be fair, Abs, it's the other 300 games we've watched as well, mate. So
yeah. It's not just this pre-season we're judging Miggy and Longstaff on. Come on.
You know us. You know we watch all of the games.
Yeah,
well,
we see every
one
game.
that they haven't put in the highlight, the replay for. But yeah, we've seen all of the ones that you've seen, and we're not just judging Longstaff on 45 minutes. It's on. I've said it before. I'll say it again. He's there for discipline, rigidity, because he knows the system. He's dependable, and if he loses those assets, what else does he give you? Because he's not got the skills that the other midfielders have got. So if he loses that, we've got nothing.
We have stuck up for Sean lots and lots of times.
Yeah, we have, because look.
But let's not forget this time last season against Gateshead and Rangers, he really died then as well.
He was terrible. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
He definitely goes to sleep in pre-season, doesn't he?
But the thing is with Sean, he makes some very, very good runs at times. When he makes them runs into the
penalty
penalty
area. Done that, though.
He did that today, and it looked more simple to score than miss the goal when he missed the goal.
PSG goal. It's that run. He makes that run every match, and it's a fantastic run, and he catches every centre half out at least once a game, and it's magical. But he just can't capitalise on it. He's got that clever movement in his locker, but he's always been the 9/10 of the way there for me, Sean. He was always on that cusp. If he could have gone into gear 5, he could have pushed on and maybe got some caps at international level. He could have been. He's just never been able to take that next step. He's always been stuck at that maybe level.
Yeah. Andy says, do we actually think Eddie will start Hall at left back? I've got a horrible feeling he'll be on the bench with his favourite Burns starting instead. God, I hope I'm wrong.
No chance.
I think that would be an absolute cardinal sin if he did that, to be honest. He has got to play Lewis Hall there. Lewis Hall is an out-and-out left back. He's a very, very good left back. He bombs forward. He's great on the ball. He's a great passer. He's a great crosser. We get so much more out of Dan Burn as a centre-back than we do at left-back. And Lewis Hall has got to be our starting left-back next season. I think it would be a criminal sin if that happened. Eddie surprised us a few times. Jake says, so could Gordon not be having a purple patch, same as Miggy, and you want to give him a contract?
He's got so much more to his game, Anthony Gordon. Let's be honest.
Yeah, there you go. Billy said it for me.
Yeah.
Striker, left wing, left-footed, right-footed, headers, penalties, intelligence, awareness. It's Miggy hasn't got half of that.
And Anthony Gordon scores goals, may I add. Laura says, I'd like to see Willock get another chance next season. If it doesn't work out, then he needs moved on. I think Willock is going to have a good season because he's not going to play every game. And that will help his fitness. That will help, with Joe Willock himself. He'll use him as a substitute and a starter. And I think that can only benefit Joe Willock and the team because...
Yeah, and Joe Linton as well. I mean, there's no... And anyone else wants to play in that position.
Yeah.
They both get rest. They both keep fit. It's got to be good for us.
In the season Willock got injured, you have to remember it was very often Willock as the left 8, Joe Linton as the left wing, and vice versa. So they were having to play a lot of minutes, and they both play that kind of football where hamstrings and things go ping because they're very powerful, athletic runners. It happens. Whereas now you've got Joe Linton and Willock to play in the 8 together and swap. And then we've got Barnes and Gordon now, who are the left wingers. The year that they were playing together, Barnes and Gordon weren't at the club, or Gordon wasn't playing minutes yet. So it's different now. They can share minutes. Willock isn't under the pressure of playing this much.
Yeah. Fubar says, can we just take a second to acknowledge how good the support was at the game today? Yeah, it was excellent, wasn't it? I mean, it was great to see so many Japanese fans in black and white. Of course, the home team were actually the Red Diamonds, so there was plenty of their fans in as well. But it was obviously nowhere near full. The weather was pretty shit as well. It was from what I heard.
I haven't watched it.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Anyway, one thing I do want to mention to you guys is the reports have come out this afternoon regarding Manchester City getting a fine for something to do with kickoff times.
Yeah, delaying kickoffs. So they
delaying kickoffs. Yeah,
it's I don't know if it's because they want to know what's happening elsewhere, and who knows?
But a fine of £2 million. I mean, that's like just pulling a fiver out your pocket for that, isn't it? Really. I mean, it's ridiculous. And then, of course, they've still got the 115 charges kicking around. But
22 charges of that as well, by the way. 22.
Yeah.
So half the season last year, they delayed the kickoff. In fact, in every home game virtually, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I just find that wrong. 2 million. I mean, look, teams aren't going to be bothered about 2 million. The one thing that hurts teams for doing anything like this is a points deduction. It's as simple as that. That's what hurts teams. Not when you're Manchester City and somebody fines you £2 million, it's nothing. It literally is nothing. Let's be fair. It's the same with us. If we were fined £2 million, it's nothing to PIF, right? I mean, to us, it's an awful lot of money. Don't get me wrong. But when you're these multi-billion pound companies, it's not points deduction is where it hurts teams. And instead of fining them, deduct points. Surely that's a better way forward and puts them off of doing it next time.
It's only Everton and Forest that get points deducted.
Yeah.
Chelsea get a transfer ban. Chelsea get fined. City get fined. They just get slaps on the wrist when it's Big Six. It's the other clubs who will get a points deduction. It's boring to keep going on about it, but it's just true. It's there. It's not even a secret anymore.
But the thing is, Chippers makes a good point. Manchester City agreed to their punishment. You know, they came to an agreement about their punishment. In what world do people get punished but have a say in what the punishment is?
Well, it's the same as the European Super League clubs, isn't it? They agreed to their punishment.
Yeah. Laura says off subject, but I'm allowed to ask what field that Stato works in. He seems very knowledgeable.
I train garage software for garages.
Yes. So there.
So that people don't have to write on pen and paper to run their businesses, basically.
Yes. I don't know whether she's just saying a nice thing to calm you down, Alex, because you didn't get to see the game. I don't know.
I'm refreshing the website every 5 minutes.
Remind them about it, Paul. Why don't you?
Well, I just thought I'd drop it in there. Gordon donated £10,000 to Southport Stabbing Fund, reported in the Chronicle. Well, that doesn't surprise me because he's already shown what he does. I mean, that little Newcastle supporter that he went to see in hospital was just, one day they're appealing to Anthony Gordon to send an autographed shirt or something, and the day after he turns up. Was it Leeds he drove to see the kid? I think it was Leeds.
Manchester, wasn't it?
Manchester, was it? I know he drove a long way to see the kid, and he just walked into the room as if he was just.
Can I just ask? People keep telling me that the match is on YouTube and I need to watch it. It's not. I can't find it.
It's on Japanese YouTube, Alex. So if you put your VPN in and you pretend you're in Japan,
have I got to type in Japanese to do it? I mean, I've got a VPN, so I could. Have I got to type in Japanese or something?
I really think so.
Oh, there you go. That was quick. Alex, do you actually get that joke? I'm not sure he does.
I wasn't paying attention. No, right. I'm in Tokyo. If I disappear, it's because I've gone to Tokyo. Hang on.
Okay. Talking Japanese, I really think so. Oh, dear. That was a good one, Billy. Ryan says at Everton, Gordon wasn't scoring goals, had like 65 appearances with 7 goals for them. Granted, Everton were a poor team, but still too early to judge Gordon yet fully.
He was also about 18 years of age at the time.
Yeah. But I think you make a good point in that comment, is that Everton were terrible. Like, really bad. Jens, thank you for another super chat. If Poole or Man United did something, they would get nada. That's just incredible. I mean, if it was us, it would be a different kettle of fish. We all know that. Chipper says, I see Man United want a 100,000 seater stadium as well. No outrage at the fact that they want us to pay for it. Yeah, they keep going on about that.
I mean, they've changed the ballpark for that as well. I mean, it used to be that you couldn't have a capacity more than the National Stadium.
Yeah.
Now, Man United want 100,000 stadium. Yeah, get on with it. We'll pay for it. Don't think so.
No. Completely wrong. Ray says if Steve Bruce goes to Jamaica, he will get paid in spliffs instead of cash.
Well, it will certainly stink up the joint. That's for certain.
Yeah, he will indeed. No doubt about that. Another good one there from Mr. Billy Bob. City will definitely get it this November. Points deduction and fee incoming. It was Manchester Children's Hospital that Anthony Gordon went to. Fubar says Reuters had a report out a couple of years ago that PIF will be valued at above 1 trillion by 2026. £2 million to them would be loose change.
That would be, wouldn't it? Like, have a couple of pennies out of your pocket, wouldn't it? Not even that.
Ewan says he's just watched the game on NUFC YouTube, Alex.
Highlights.
Well, yeah, but it'll be the highlights. I want to watch the whole game. The point is, guys, is I paid to watch the whole game. And I was at work, and I assumed it would be available later because the whole game, the whole full match is available still now. And I thought they were just going to do that with all of the friendlies. But there's not really much of a communication about how that works. It's just, you just got to wait for it. You just guess. And for something you pay money for, it's a little bit frustrating.
Yeah, it is just the highlights of 3 minutes worth of highlights as well, which that isn't even
on the website. It's called brief. They even write the word brief highlights.
Brief, 3 minutes. It's brief, definitely.
I want the full highlights. You've got it. Just post it.
Yvonne says, finally, I managed to download my season ticket this afternoon. What a nightmare. I thought they'd sorted the website. I didn't have a problem downloading mine, I have to say. I got mine. I just went on and downloaded it, and it's now safely in my Google Wallet. Ab says, Billy made the same joke yesterday. Keep up, Paul.
I'll make it every time someone says talking Japanese or anything Japanese. I really think so.
Well, yeah, but he's not going to come out with the other Japanese one, he said.
Bill,
no. Bill says, that's what I thought, Billy. Cannot remember where I read it, but that is correct. A football stadium cannot be larger than the National Stadium. I looked into it when the takeover happened. Well, it's different rules, obviously, for Manchester United. Dan says, Alex, I went through the same thing with the Aussie matches. Replays never showed up after I was charged. I think
there's people saying it is available on J League International. It's not. I'm on that. It's not on there. It's just the highlights. It's a 5-minute 40 video. It's not on there.
Dear. Alex is not going to stop till
I'm furious because I don't want to miss matches.
Yeah,
I paid for it and I want to watch all the matches. You know, you guys come here because you want to hear our opinions on the football. I like to know what I'm talking about. I like to watch the games. I've missed one now and I've paid for it. It's not good enough.
Chipper says Steve Bruce Bob Marley remix. No pasty, no cry. Interesting. Jay says, I'm sure it was a Japanese stream they were using. They may not have the rights. Yeah, but they should state that. They should state that if people are purchasing the game, surely
they've got the rights. They're going to be in so much shit, wouldn't they? So I don't think that's the case.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even if that was the case, Billy, surely that there should be some sort of a disclaimer on there that if you're purchasing the game, it is only purchasable to watch when the game is played, and you can't watch it on a rerun, which that should be stated.
But I can't find it on the live tab either. For people trying to help me, just tweet me after the show because we want to talk about proper stuff. There's no point in us talking about me watching the game for the rest of the show.
Well, I think people are
going to really enjoy it.
Yeah, post the link.
Yeah, you would have enjoyed it, Alex. Definitely,
brilliant game, outstanding.
It was really good for a pre-season friendly. I don't think we're helping Billy, so we'll move on. May I have permission to share the YouTube link for Stato?
Yes.
Yes, indeed, you may. Because if we can finish the show,
if you send me a Rickroll, you are banned.
Well, I mean, there you have it. But look, if we can get Alex a happy man before the end of the show, then we'll see.
It's my evening sorted if I can watch the game.
Jay says, right to stream the game, not show it again.
Oh, yes, Jay, I understand what you're saying now.
Okay, fair enough. Fubar says, feelings on Milan signing Pavlovic today. Could that be Chow's move to us ready?
Maybe.
Not necessarily.
Simon Kjaer has also left the club, and I think they've lost another centre half as well. So maybe not.
Yeah. Clude says, Paul, Billy, Alex, do you boys think we've strengthened with the players we've brought in so far? That's a hard one to answer. Strengthened is maybe...
Oh, yeah, because we've lost Richie and Dummett, Anderson and Minte. Minte's never part of the squad anyway, so we're not losing anything there.
Yeah.
Anderson we've lost, but we brought in Lewis Hall, for instance. We've got Tonali coming back. I think they might be a wee bit stronger, but I want to be stronger still.
Absolutely. Garant says, I lost my wife and my TV. No woman, no sky. Dear me. Give Pivas a go. If he looks as good as he seems and talked about, he's probably old enough and ready to step up. There has been a few comments about the youth that we've brought in. I mean, it was great to see Heffernan come on today. I don't know whether you've seen his dad posting in social media. It was great that seeing his son making his debut for Newcastle. Absolutely. Foxy says, but as bad as Bruce is, Jamaica's previous managers haven't exactly been great. At least he has some sort of knowledge of leagues where he can look at players like Hayden, Max Aarons, and Rico Henry.
And then
he's got good knowledge of the Championship.
And then not play them, and
yeah.
Trevor McDonald in the side. I don't mean I'll watch Trevor McDonald either.
Yeah. Ball Geordie says, I've heard that the UN are airdropping Stato a relief package, which includes the Entertainers VHS collection.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Well, so far, we haven't seen that link come in that we were promised.
Yeah, Jam Stasher. Where's the link?
Jam Stasher, where have you gone?
All talk.
Yes, you've disappeared. I did say you could post it. We are waiting for it. I posted the YouTube link. Did he get it? Where did you post it?
In the post box.
Oh dear. Well, it seems that way. It's not in the chat. I don't know where you've posted that, Jam Stasher. Let us know, please. Mr. Reactions, you can go and sod off saying things like that. Absolutely shocking, disgusting thing to say. Hang your head in shame at that comment, young man.
Gone very dark in there, Paul. What's going on? And I don't mean that in any sense of the fact it's gone dark.
His lights are going mad.
Yeah, I just kicked me plug. But I'm Mr. Reaction's head is the next thing I'm going to kick. Must be YouTube preventing it then, says Julie. So I don't know what's going on. Anyway, we've come to the end of the show. So Alex is going to now try and
message me on Twitter. It's fine.
you do realize, Alex, that you're probably going to get thousands of tweets with different links. Possibly
I'm
not
going to have to
related
put
as well.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, yeah, that could be very interesting. But anyway, thank you very much for joining us tonight, guys, and taking part in the chat. It's been a great show again. Lots of different opinions, left, right, and centre, which is great to see again. Thank you very much for your super chats and your memberships, etc. Mods, thank you. Alex and Billy, thank you. But again, thank you to you guys. You make this channel, you make the shows. Thank you very much for keep coming back, and hopefully we will continue to grow as we head towards 40,000 subscribers. That is the big goal we're going for next. So spread the word about the channel, guys. Get your family involved, etc. Family and friends. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. And of course, if you're new, please do hit that subscribe button if you're watching live or on the rerun. Thank you very much. The show will be uploaded as a podcast later on tonight. So it'll be on iTunes and Spotify and other various places that you listen to your podcasts on. So if you want us to, in your ears when you're walking the dog or having a poo or going to the gym, whatever it may be, we can be in your earlobes. So thank you very much for watching, guys. We will see you very soon. But in the meantime, good night.
Sayonara.
Come back and check out the green.